Hey, I got a question for you. You like bugs? Because today, we are talking about probably the most famous bug in D&D. A hulking monstrosity of a praying mantis that can spit acid. How do you DM the Ankheg? So Ankhegs have been with D&D since 1977, when Dragon Magazine first put them into the spotlight in their featured creatures section. Try saying that 3 times fast. Featured creatures section, featured creature section, featured creature section. Yeah, I can't. This version of the monster is simple and centipede-like, but it is impressive because the Ankheg has mostly kept its form all these years, and you can see the beginnings of this creature right here. But I think any D&D player could tell you that this, if you were to give them only the silhouette, is in fact an Ankheg. First edition stays true with the original and makes no change to it. The only thing actually added to this creature is a description. Mind-blowing, I know. But we will talk about that later. Second edition is where we see the big change with the Ankheg. It becomes more of like a stag beetle kind of look to it. It becomes more horizontal, even though it has its claws like it does in 5th edition. The rear legs still have the new hook claws, and the mouth in particular, the mandibles, very much like a stag beetle would. And then you got the antennas coming out. It's not as long as it used to be. It's more plated look to it, and the head kind of has more like of a cricket shape to it, if that makes any sense. So it kind of looks like an amalgamation of different things, and it's pretty interesting. Again, this is the big change to what an Ankheg is today. 3rd edition, they really go in on the monstrosity aspect of this creature, as it is, to say the least, nightmare fuel. It now looks more like an armored cockroach, and has 6 legs that have 1 claw each. The creature is now completely enveloped by its carapace, and blood stains its mouth area, giving it a distinct carnivorous look. 4th edition keeps the design of 3rd edition, and doesn't change really anything. So, yeah. 4th edition back. 5th edition is where we see the modern version of the Ankheg take shape. This Ankheg becomes more praying mantis-like with 2 large claws on its front legs, giving it the ability to grapple prey, and the mandibles becoming more like the original as they appear more hardened. The carapace is very spiky now, and acid drips from its mouth. This art also just makes it look very angry. 2024 is pretty much the same as 5th edition, but it looks less angry, but more natural, if that makes sense. It just seems to have more like a neutral look to it. It has those big-ass bug eyes. The cool part is that the image is showing its ambush strategy of burrowing out of the ground and attacking a man and his horse. Or is it half man, half horse? As for the lore, the first thing that is interesting about Ankhegs is that they are classified as monstrosities. In D&D, according to the 2024 Monster Manual, monstrosities are unnatural creatures with strange origins. This meaning that Ankhegs are not natural, and they were created by something or someone. Whoever or whatever that is, they are the scariest eco-terrorists who exist. Because why? Ankhegs love burrowing to the point that they kind of make anthill-like tunnels under the surface, with no hill. Using these tunnels like a spider would, use its web to sense where prey is, and then burst out of the ground to strike with its claws, mandibles, and acid spray. These creatures are mostly found in farmland with plenty of food, and are capable of wiping out entire herds, and thus the towns that live off of that herd. I bet you can imagine how hard it is to actually get rid of an infestation of these bugs, as they also breed in these tunnels. It all has to be destroyed. I have personally run Ankhegs a lot as a DM, mostly due to running Dragon of Icespire Peak from the Essentials kit. Goated adventure module, by the way. These guys have an AC of 14, HP of 45, 30-foot walk speed, and 10-foot burrowing speed, tremor sense, dark vision, the tunneler trait, and the bite and acid spray actions. So I will give 2 scenarios for using these guys. The first scenario has a group traveling along a road that is well known and well traveled often. This party is heading towards Phandalin and is about to turn onto the Tribor Trail. Once they do, the road goes from stone to dirt, They continue down this path, and as they get closer to Phandalin, they see multiple large silhouettes scatter in the trees in the corners of their eyes. A few minutes roll by, and BAM! A large bug comes out of the ground just below them. The party rolls dexterity saving throws to get out of the way. Those that fail are thrown 10 feet into the air, taking 1d6 bludgeoning damage and are prone. Initiative is rolled with surprise to the Ankhegs, and yes, there are multiple, as the party realizes that they are surrounded by as many Ankhegs as there are party members. Sounds cool, right? Or maybe the party is in a town when the villagers start talking about large bugs eating their cattle, and they won't be able to eat if it continues. The party decides to help, and when they go to where the bugs are spotted, they find the tunnels these creatures have made, and it turns out they just signed up for a bug hunt, as they now have to clear out an infestation of them in a Helldivers-like adventure. Fighting these guys is pretty challenging for anyone not ready for them or underestimating them, because their acid spray hurts and can reach up to 30 feet. It is on a recharge though, so ranged combat is the best case scenario for any fight with these guys. But the problem is that you probably won't have a choice but to fight them in close combat, as they surprise you or you enter their tunnels, and their melee is devastating as they bite and grapple you in one attack. These traits make it so that the party needs to really come up with a game plan if they want to actually have a chance against a horde of these things. That's about it for the Ankheg. These are one of my favorite monsters that I have actually ran because they actually pose a good challenge and puzzle for low level players without being overkill. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll.